Florida is known as a mecca for travelers, and millions of visitors from all over the world enjoy the Sunshine State each and every year, while others decide to make Florida their permanent home. In fact, over 20% of Florida's population consists of individuals born outside of the United States. So that brings up the question, do foreign-born individuals, specifically non-citizens, have the same firearm rights as U.S. citizens? To find out the answer to this question, be sure to stick around. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Firearm Firm channel. I'm attorney James Phillips, and today we are going to discuss how federal and Florida law addresses whether non-citizens of the United States have a right to possess or carry a firearm in Florida and throughout the United States. But before we dive into our discussion today, be sure to show your support for the Second Amendment by clicking on that like button, and don't forget to click on the subscribe icon located down in the bottom right hand corner of this video to subscribe to the Firearm Firm channel. When it comes to firearm rights, the first thing we must consider is federal law because it applies regardless to which state you reside in or visit. For today's topic, we must look at the Federal Gun Control Act. This statute provides a list of people who are prohibited from shipping, receiving, transporting, or possessing a firearm or ammunition. Among the list of prohibited people are non-citizens who are illegally or unlawfully in the United States, as well as non-citizens who have been admitted to the United States under a non-immigrant visa. This means that anyone entering the United States without legal authorization cannot possess firearms or ammunition anywhere within the U.S. The same goes for anyone who may have entered the U.S. legally but overstayed their legal authorization to remain in the U.S. Now, the second category of non-citizens mentioned in the Federal Gun Control Act are those who have been lawfully admitted to the United States with a non-immigrant visa. The most common non-immigrant visas are tourist visas, student visas, and certain work visas. Non-immigrant visas provide a means for non-citizens to enter the United States legally for a specific period of time. But non-immigrant visas do not, I repeat, do not give an individual the right to possess firearms or ammunition. However, there are some exceptions for those individuals who enter the United States legally with a non-immigrant visa. The most common exception is if a non-immigrant visa holder is in possession of a hunting license or permit lawfully issued in the United States, then that individual may possess firearms and ammunition. There are also other exceptions for certain representatives of a foreign government, distinguished individuals designated by the Department of State, or certain foreign law enforcement officers in the United States on official duty. But by far the most common exception is a hunting license, which can be issued from any state within the United States. So, a non-citizen who entered the United States with a non-immigrant visa and has lawfully remained in the United States may obtain a hunting license in order to possess firearms or ammunition. To be clear, this prohibition of possessing firearms and ammunition does not apply to individuals who have received legal permanent residency or a green card in the U.S., or to those who hold a valid immigrant visa or a certificate of naturalization. Now, keep in mind that possessing a firearm, carrying a concealed firearm, or openly carrying a firearm are all different concepts that are treated differently under the law. The federal law pertaining to non-citizen firearm rights only addresses the possession of firearms and ammunition. Further guidance is going to be provided by individual state laws. Each state may enact their own laws, which often restrict individual firearm rights even further than federal law. In Florida, only legal permanent residents of the United States or U.S. citizens may carry a concealed firearm or weapon. This does not mean that a non-citizen in lawful possession of a firearm cannot have a firearm in their home or practice shooting at a gun range in Florida. Rather, that individual cannot carry a firearm in a concealed manner in public. Further, Florida prohibits open carry of firearms regardless of an individual's immigration status, except in very few limited circumstances, such as those who are engaged in fishing, camping, or lawful hunting, or are going directly to or from fishing, camping, or hunting. Other states may not have the same restrictions. Therefore, it is imperative for anyone carrying a firearm to know the laws of the state in which they choose to have a firearm in. The federal statute pertaining to non-citizen firearm rights also applies to the sale and purchase of a firearm. When purchasing a firearm from a federal firearms licensee, an FFL, the buyer must complete ATF Form 4473. This form specifically asks whether the buyer is illegally or unlawfully in the United States, whether the buyer has been admitted to the United States under a non-immigrant visa, and whether the buyer falls under any of the exceptions of which we previously discussed. Remember, the most common exception being a hunting license or permit. The form goes on to ask whether you intend to sell the firearm to an individual illegally in the U.S. or who has been admitted as a non-immigrant. Therefore, understanding these laws applies to both citizens and non-citizens. And as we've all seen in recent news, it is very, very important to answer each question on Form 4473 truthfully. If you don't think so, go ask your boy, Hunter Biden. Of course, anyone found in violation of federal or state laws can face serious criminal charges, and for non-citizens, it could mean serious immigration consequences as well. But the intricacies of non-citizen status in the United States can be quite complex. Our firm has helped countless non-citizens who have been wrongfully denied their firearm rights or concealed weapons license. Be sure to leave any questions you may have down below in the comments section, or you can email them directly to us at questions@thefirearmfirm.com. Also, if you feel more comfortable or believe your question is too complicated to leave below or email us, we are more than happy to speak with you over the phone. We can be reached at 321-332-6864. Until next time, stay armed and educated.